I didn't record all that waffle. We'll let Jodie in. And actually, I'll have to just do a quick new introduction. Very quick, by the way. You don't have, I'm not going to repeat myself. So, just for the recording of this video, this training, I'm going to show you a 3-step process that I've only just come across in the last week on how to create really, really beautiful covers for your books, for your big books, fiction, non-fiction, for lead magnets, anything you want to look brilliant. Now, people buy from you and people sign up for freebies because something looks delicious. If something looks a bit rubbish and a bit meh, then they're probably not going to buy it and they're probably not going to sign up for it. It's just as difficult to get somebody to buy something from you as it is to get somebody to sign up for something for free. We still have to make it tantalizing, give it a juicy title, make it irresistible, make it delicious. So, 3-step process. I'd love you to put in the chat, what book are you working on right now? So I've not got any slides for this training. It's very in the moment. I'm very much showing you how to do it live, step by step. And it might go horribly wrong. Who knows? This is AI. And actually, if it goes horribly wrong, this is good coaching and training for you to see, well, how do you rectify that when it goes horribly wrong? AI can often go horribly wrong. Yes. Okay. So, yeah, Maria Went. I'll put her name here. I followed her as a coach for forever. She's a hugely successful business coach, but it's very much based on the pace at which she goes. She is going at a rocket pace, and always has done. So with these lead magnets, she and her sister were posting new lead magnets every day in different Facebook groups and obviously rotating them all. So it's very fast, exponential growth building that list and then converting the list from there on in. Yes, 600K a month, low ticket, quick little low ticket offers, then bumping people up into higher ticket. It's pretty genius, a bit too fast paced for me. I'm getting old now. But if we can do a little bit of that strategy, I do think it's brilliant. And we can do that with AI now and not feel as though we're hustling. We don't want to feel that I've got to do this, and this, and this, and this, and then I'm going to collapse at the end of the day. If that's for you, then brilliant, but that is just not my style. Um, Let me look at the chat. What are you working on? Claudia has got a series, seasonal journals and ADHD activity book. Fabulous. Jeanette's got life skills for young adults with learning disabilities. Brilliant. Nora, who the F knows? Well, Nora, you're right. You have been working on Jesus and Gandhi colouring book. Very random, but I'm loving it. I'm loving the creativity. I'm loving the ideas. And in fact, I was having a play with AI and Jesus and Gandhi just for you. And I never thought I would say that sentence. And I want to buy this colouring book now. It has to be on my shelf just for you.
It's the bit, the bit where you said, what human being would want to color in
It's just,
Jesus
it's
again?
so mind-boggling. I did mean that as a criticism. There may be tons of people out there who are dying to colouring Jesus and Gandhi, myself included. You've already got a sale. I want this book. Visual. Oh, we are visual creatures. I thought Claudia was doing a book all about visual creatures. Right, no, I misread that one. Yes, ghostwriters, 3 books a day. Yeah, I think it would be too expensive. But there's another strategy of quickly developing your book on AI in 5 or 10 minutes, sending that to a ghostwriter to titivate. Yes, that would be a really, really low cost if there was a strategy of doing it like that. We can do that with book covers as well. We can create most of the covers or most of the colouring page interiors the biggest criticism on Amazon is, oh, this book was created by AI. This is terrible. This is the work of the devil, all of that kind of thing. And you can send the interior pages to an illustrator for a couple of £100, dollars, euros, whatever, and they will make it look hand drawn. So they will rectify any weird AI weirdness that we know happens, and they will also just rejig some of the parts and the outlines to really give it a hand drawn feel. So that is definitely something that you can look at investing in. It's a good investment, that would be.
One of the things that I heard about the AI, I was reading it on a review, is that the actual, it wasn't so much about the cover or the title, but it was the quality of the pages themselves, the
Mhm.
quality of the drawings.
Yeah.
And the main point was, if you're looking at coloring books, you don't want a lot of gray space.
Mm.
The pictures themselves were actually okay, but there was just no room to put any color.
Yeah, I think they need a good coach. You need to point them in a different direction. If they're creating colouring books with grey space or even too thin lines,
Yeah.
we have got alcohol inks. We don't want to be colouring up to a line where it just bleeds across. So it needs to be fairly bold lines. And the worst thing with AI is having things that just don't match. Or, I've had shelving units that were propped up at one end and there was no prop at the other end. Just random things like that can very easily happen in AI generated colouring pages. But yeah, that's, very novice. People are just like, I'm going to create a colouring book with AI and throw it on Amazon. So that is going to give AI a bad name when it's so poor quality that you're colouring in grey, already coloured in the pages. That's not enjoyable, is it? So I was going to pick on somebody's book. Should we pick on Jeanette? Only because I know that she's never going to get offended by anything that I do because she works with me. No, she probably would do. I'm not going to be offensive to Jeanette, but I just thought um, we could pick on someone's book and just use that to work on. So we'll do that with Jeanette. I also, Jeanette is super busy, like juggling different jobs and work and tasks and children. So we can help Jeanette out. I also have already done a bit of tweaking on yours, Nora. So I'll send you what I come up with as well for you. That was a difficult one. AI did not want to give me Jesus and Gandhi as a colouring book. It was like, what? What do you mean? Do you definitely mean this?
I know. I was thinking about actually changing it to Two Wise Men. Take a walk.
Yeah.
Just to get around on.
But maybe put a post in school about your thinking around profitability. I'm all about the profitability.
I know, but they actually are.
Yeah.
Like I have looked. They are all these Christian
Mm.
style books. They are actually most of them, you know.
So it's falling under Christian colouring books.
Mm,
Yeah. So
yeah, there's a lot of Jesus stained glass ones. You know those stained glass
I can
books? Yeah,
imagine that
those,
would be
those.
right. So we've
Yeah.
got to look at why is it profitable? Christian, yeah, there's loads of Christians.
Mm.
Stained glass, oh yes, we want to get all our colourful.
No, I had enough stained glass when I was a child. I don't want to do any more of that.
But I can see why that would make a good colouring book. So let's have a chat about the
Mhm.
profitability and the reason why it's going to be profitable.
Mm.
So, right, train of thought is three-step process, right, to creating incredible book covers and lead magnet covers. Write this down. I've not done it on a slide. I meant to, but then I realized that I hadn't got ready. Still got last night's hair in. Look at that. It's really bad. Anyway, you can't see it. Step one. Who knows what step one is? Let's make this interactive.
It's always research.
Yeah, maybe it's a four-step process.
We can't forget the
Yeah,
research.
I'm assuming at this stage you're ready to create your cover. So you've done all that research, you've done the keywords, you know the profitability, you know you've got a good idea. Let's let Sue in. So we're actually just creating our cover now. So we know what we're going to create. So what would be the first step? We want to use AI. Welcoming you, Sue, and welcoming Jodie as well. I forgot to welcome you, Jodie. Hi.
Maybe a prompt?
Yes. Okay. So, what are we going to do about this prompt? What are we going to say? How do we know what we want the prompt to say?
I would look at my competition or the books in that category and the covers that the bestsellers are getting and take screenshots, and then I would upload them into whatever chat or some version of that to get something similar to see what that
This is beautiful. I love this. So I've made a little tweak to this because ethically, a lot of people say, and this isn't true, oh, you can't use book covers of other people. It's unethical and it's copyright, right? Now, my job was a lawyer before I very happily left that job. I walked out one day, just filled a box and just decided that's it. I'm not being a lawyer anymore. So anyway, I know that a image that is in the public domain is usable. You can use that image because it is in the public domain. Just like you can use somebody's name because their name is on Facebook. You can use a Facebook profile photo. You can use that anywhere you like because it's a public domain photo. But you couldn't use somebody's private photograph and a private image, right? So because book covers are in the public domain already on Amazon, we can use them for research. We don't want to recreate them. We don't want to create a carbon copy of somebody else's book cover just because that would be a breach of their IP and their copyright. Although we do see book covers exactly the same, especially ones with words on. Words and colours, you can't really do much different with that, can you? You can use the slightly different font. But any sort of book covers that have some sort of design, creativity, imagery, we don't want to be doing exactly the same as someone else. So I've gone a little bit beyond this, Jodie and everyone else, in that I will use a book cover in a neighbouring industry. So if we're going to work on Jeanette's book now, we wouldn't work on, what was it again? Let's write Jeanette's title down. I've forgotten it already. Life Skills for Young Adults with Learning Disabilities. So let me write that down so I don't forget. Life Skills for Young Adults. And once you get a nice cover for a lead magnet, say, you can just use your cover from your last lead magnet and do similar ones. So it's kind of going to take you longer to do the first one. Once you've got your style, you might just do a different color next time, or you might add a different image to it, but you could have your own style once you've worked at this. Just thinking about, let's build our email list quickly, going back to that subject. So life skills for young adults with learning disabilities. So what would be neighbouring or accompanying or partnering niches to that? So life skills for is it young adults? Young adults. So it could be life skills, money skills. It could be entrepreneur skills for young adults. It could be learning disabilities book that isn't about life skills. It could be a book about autism, ADHD. It could be actually a life skills book, but not for young adults with learning disabilities. We could still look at those books. So the reason why I think this is important is you don't want a book cover looking anything like the other book covers that are going to pop up when somebody does a search for your book. So if somebody is searching on Amazon, life skills, learning disabilities, they've probably searched something like that. We don't want your book looking anything like any of the others that are popping up. And this does happen a lot on Amazon. You see several book covers looking almost exactly the same, especially in the colouring book industry. But it's a bit more of a no-no if it's not a colouring book, if you see what I mean. So if it's a non-fiction book or a fiction book and it's not a colouring book and you've got 2 or 3 books that look exactly the same, it's a real big no-no, and we don't want our name attached to a blunder like that. So you're absolutely right, Jodie. So the first thing is we need to create a prompt. If we create a prompt from our own head, it's probably not going to be good, and it's not going to be AI appropriate, because we don't know exactly what the graphic design name or term of a specific style of image is, because we're not graphic designers. We don't know the language that we need to use for this prompt. So what we do is we take what we call a reference image, we upload it into AI, and we say, please, can you generate a detailed prompt for this reference image? So that's our step 1, but we're going to go beyond that as well, because we don't want an image that is just like the reference image that we uploaded. We are then going to edit that prompt to add in the bits that we want, to take away the bits that we don't want from that book that we added as a reference image, so that our image is completely different. It's different colors, it's a different font, it's a different image, it's a different style. Well, usually the style is usually the same. That's the language that we need to take from AI. So that's our step 1, to design a detailed prompt. Step 1. And let's do that now. And if I do say anything that doesn't make sense, just let me know. So I'm going to open ChatGPT, just ignore all my thingies. I'm publishing about 20 books at the moment. So we want to design a prompt. So let's go for, should we go for money skills for young adults? Let's go for that. This is quite a good one. So we want something that's doing well. Crucial life skills for teens. We also need to think what is going to pop in a small mobile thumbnail feed. Yeah, very important. You probably want to write that down or just ingrain it into your brain. Is this cover going to pop in a small thumbnail? Now, one of the big mistakes I see is writing on book covers is too small, so it's not readable in a tiny little thumbnail on a mobile phone. You know, I've got one of these big mobile phones, but a lot of mobile phones are smaller than mine. So we want to make sure that writing is very, very legible, very easy to read. So let's have a look at Kip Scout at what is doing well. And I particularly am interested in books that are making money that don't have any reviews, because this means the author is a newly published author. It's a newly published book. And if they are making money and making profits without reviews, then it's going to fly. That book is going to do really well in the future. So we're not necessarily looking at the books that are making thousands and thousands of dollars. We're looking at the books with a low number of reviews. This one has got just 55 reviews, is making £303 a month. So imagine once it gets 1,000 reviews or 2,000 reviews, Amazon is going to push it right up to the top. So that's going to be really successful in the future. Money, maths and financial literacy. Let's have a look at that one. Where's it gone? I can click on it. Right, hang on. Money skills for teens, crucial life skills. Oh, it's showing me the sponsored ones. It doesn't normally do that. Money skills for teens, money skills for young adults, life skills for young adults, life skills for teens. This one is doing well. Let me see. Where's that one gone? But it's got 9,000 reviews. So it seems to be quite a few yellow ones. Money skills for young adults. Essential money. Where's the one I was looking for now? Essential money skills for ambitious teens. There. Is it this one? Managing your money, that one, and that one. So, oh, this one. Money, maths, and financial literacy. Has got 55 reviews, is up at $7.99. Yeah. So I would probably look and see if that is like a well-known book author. So are they using their audience already to make those sales, even though they've only got 55 reviews? Because the writing on that book is not very big. What else did we say? Let's have a look at some other ones. It's not that many making much money in that category. Let's look at a different category. So life skills for young adults with learning disabilities. Let's go life skills. For adults. This might be a little bit too close. Again, I'm looking for books with low numbers of reviews that are doing well. Not that many. I'm going to type in learning disabilities, young adults. So this is looking a lot more promising. 33 reviews, working with people with learning disabilities, theory and practice. So there's that one. That does look like a textbook, doesn't it, that you would see in a college or university. So we won't go with that one. Social skills, peers, working with people with learning disabilities, systematic approach. So I'm not liking any of these. They look too much like textbooks. What else can we do? Life skills for young adults with learning disabilities. So there's money skills, life skills. What other skills? Money skills, life
Job skills.
job skills.
Social skills.
Yeah. Job skills. Life skills is coming up. Money skills with all the money there. I mean, we can look at the ones that have got the most reviews. Let's just look at those. What did you say? Social skills. Let's look at those. We want something that's going to pop in the thumbnail as a priority. And we want something with large writing so that it can be seen in that thumbnail. Social skills for teens, young adults. Teen wise.
Abby,
Yeah.
there was a study done one time that yellow, even on yellow, like in the golden pages or the yellow
Yeah.
pages or whatever, is the most eye-catching color. So maybe that helps. I don't know.
It does help because my
Yeah.
eye was drawn to that life skills
Yeah.
yellow one, and I noticed there was a yellow one in the
Yeah.
second category as well.
Mm.
So let's
Yeah, that's why they do yellow ads. They
yeah,
say
I
on
like
yellow
that.
paper.
So we might do some research if this was our book on, what colours are the best for learning difficulties, and or it's going to be their parents really that buy it, but because this is a book for adults, I think they will be buying it themselves. So it could be like favourite colours or most used colours for learning disabilities, ADHD, autism, etc. So we could do some investigation into what color palette we need to have, but I agree with you. I like the yellow. It stands out in the thumbnail, whether you've got a white or a black background for Amazon. And also your writing on it really stands out. So if these people have got learning difficulties, they don't want to be looking at a color on a color. We want that contrast, black on white, white on black, or using pale colours like yellow or a pale blue or a very light green. So yeah, I love that. This one is Rainbow Life Skills for Teens. That does look like a teen cover book, book cover. Social skills for teens. Social skills. That's looking a bit busy for the learning difficulties. I think it needs to be quite plain. This is quite good. Life skills for teen and young adults, but again, we're still in the life skills category. So part of my training is not to use a book that's in exactly the same category. But actually, if we're in life skills, there's nothing that is wildly yellow. That one is quite yellow, but it's got the big tear across the middle. That one is more orange. That's yellow and blue. It looks like there's too much going on. So it wouldn't actually pop up with lots of bright yellow books. So I think we should go with the yellow, go with big writing. And if we go with the money skills one from before, like this one, I am going to look at the most profitable one, but this is money skills. I think it's going to be something like this one, which I think actually Jeanette went with. That orange one, but having a yellow background. So I'm going to just go with this one, but we would spend a lot more time choosing because this one is actually a life skills book, but let's pretend it's a money skills book. And we're doing it a different color anyway, so that's okay. So then we're going to save that. Last publishing, I'll just put life skills. So now we're going to create our prompt. So I'm going to say you are acting as an award-winning book cover designer. Please generate me a detailed book cover prompt to use on ChatGPT, DALL-E, and Nano. Okay, so you just say something like this. You are acting as an award-winning book cover designer. We always tell AI what it is acting as when we prompt. Please generate me a detailed book cover prompt to use on ChatGPT, DALL-E, and Nano Banana for the attached reference image. And then I'm going to attach the image if I can find it. And don't worry about the exact wording of that. All you need to know is that you need to tell AI what it is acting as and then tell it what you want it to do. It's just those two things. You don't have to go, oh, parrot image. I know I need to parrot Abby's exact words here. Otherwise, I'm going to get it wrong. You're not going to get it wrong. You just need to tell AI what it is acting as.
Abby, sorry, just to ask, is this where we tell it that we want a different font and a different colour? Do we tell it here or later down the line?
Later down the line, we're just
Oh.
wanting a prompt for this exact image first, and then we're going to rejig it. Yeah. And actually, when I generate my book cover designs, I do all my fonts in Canva. So you can either get your fonts done and your writing done in AI, or you can ask it to do it without any fonts, without any text, to say, I'm going to add my own fonts in Canva. That is entirely up to you what you do. I tend to prefer to add them later in Canva. So you're acting as award-winning book cover designer. Please generate me a detailed book cover prompt for the attached reference image. Go. So this is where, you know, I'm not a graphic designer. I don't know what the style is. I don't know what the layout is. I don't know how to tell AI those things. That's really what I'm trying to achieve by this step. So there we go. We've got a really nice prompt here. Now I don't know if anybody's tried Nano Banana, and I know it's got a very silly name if you've never heard of it. Mine has broken and it will only generate me square images. So hopefully yours isn't broken. Mine was working the other day, but this just shows you that sometimes AI is having a bad day, just like we do. So yeah, but we'll just see what goes on. So I had a bit of an argument with it earlier today. So I'm going to copy this prompt and I'm going to open DALL-E. So I'm going to go to ChatGPT and I'm going to go to GPTs and I'm going to type in DALL-E. Oh, where's it gone? I just saw it. There it is. And I'm going to go start chat. Now, DALL-E is specifically designed to generate images. So now I'm going to paste this prompt, but I actually don't want to use it because I want to change it as much as possible. I don't want the same book cover as I just uploaded. So main title, life skills for young adults with learning disabilities. And we're not going to have a subtitle. Design, style and layout. Bold sans serif typography with very large blocky lettering that dominates the cover. Yeah. High contrast between text and background for maximum readability, especially as an Amazon thumbnail. Yes, yes, yes. Use bright, eye-catching, vibrant background color in a bright yellow. We could give it an actual hex code here if you've decided on your exact color. So we could do that here. So we might want a yellowy orange, that, you know, more of a yellow tone that's got an orange tone to it rather than an in-your-face kind of neon yellow. So we would probably do that here. Accent text blocks in contrasting color highlights, e.g. neon green, yellow or blue boxes to emphasize key phrases, clean, minimal, uncluttered layout with strategic use of, I might put a strategic use of cute graphics relating to Life skills for people with learning disabilities. Graphic elements, simple white line icons, subtle dotted lines. Graphic elements. So taken away that I wanted to do these graphical icons just to try and make mine different. I'm going to take away the optional badge. I can add that in Canva later. Mood and tone, fresh, positive, empowering, motivational, target audience, teens, young adults and parents buying for their teens, yeah. Professional yet playful enough to feel approachable, friendly, feeling, and not overly academic. Technical specs, DPI, 300 DPI, very important. We want a high quality image for print quality. Color palette, yellow. Yellow, orange, brown. So I've totally changed that prompt, and you could do that in Word or like a document first and then paste this prompt. So now I'm going to copy this prompt because I'm going to use it in different places. Copy. So I'm going to say go for DALL-E. And who can guess in the chat how many images it takes me to get one that I like? And not just me, this is other people. It's not just me. How many images should it take you to get the image that you want? Yep, this is good guessing because most people, they want it on the first go. Well, we all want it on the first go, don't we? We all just want to put in a prompt, then get our cover, then put in one prompt per colouring page if we're doing a colouring book, get all our colouring book pages, upload it onto Amazon and make 10K a month. That's what we all want. Sadly, it's a little bit more difficult than that, you know. Otherwise, everybody would be making millions. Yes, so I'm expecting you guys to be generating around 30 prompts to get your first one, to get one that is really good. And it actually depends, you know, this is a book with quite a minimalist cover design. So if it's got more design to it, we're looking at about 30 different tries, asking it to test and tweak different things. And you want to be always really looking at doing about 15, you know, to get something that you're really happy with. If you're really happy on the first go, you know, good luck to you. It might be brilliant. Yeah, and it's going to take less time the more that you practice, just as Neve says, because you're going to get used to your prompts. You're going to save your best prompts. You're going to have a certain style to your books, probably. You're not going to be doing totally like a you know, 3-year-old book one day, one for teens another day, another 2 books for seniors. Probably not going to do that.
Abby,
Yeah.
I don't want to open up a can of worms, but do you ever take that same prompt once you've decided and then maybe put it also in a Nano Banana or a Seed Dream or something like that just to see which AI is in a good mood today?
Exactly,
Okay,
and that's why I just copied it, Jodie, because we're
that's
going to do that. Yeah.
Okay, because I do that if it doesn't get me all.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay, good.
Because whatever AI tools you have got access to, you might think, oh, ChatGPT is really good. And it might be having a bad day, and it might really not want to do a money life skills for young adults with disabilities book cover today. It might really not want to do that today. And Nano Banana might do a fantastic job. So the ones that we have got access to, try them all and see which one is having a good day. Because it's, one tool is going to be good at one book cover, and another tool is maybe not getting used by as many people that day. I find that when I work mine in the night time, it generates a lot better images with a lot better quality than when it's working for everybody, like during the afternoon when everybody in the world, in the Western world, is awake and using it. So yeah, there's all these little nuances that you get to learn. Oh, what else was I going to say? I've forgotten, but let's just try it in the different AI tools. So it's the AI tools you have got access to. So what has it come up with? Oh, we actually wanted it to come up with the actual. It's not come up with a book cover, right? Okay, let's add that to the beginning. We just got the prompt here, but I thought it had asked for the book cover. Right, so the main thing is what I taught you before, is I have missed it off this one. You are acting as an award-winning book cover designer. Please generate me a full color. Right, let's see if we can actually come up with an image. And yes, I need to now copy that prompt. And sometimes you can do 2 or 3 different prompts. Like you might find 2 or 3 different reference books. And one, a reference book, it could be in a completely different industry, a completely different niche. It might be something else for young adults with learning disabilities, just something completely different, like entrepreneur skills for young adults. Okay, so that's pretty nice. That's okay. But can you see the images are a little bit blurry? But that's looking quite nice. I mean, this one, it's actually created a mock-up, which is an annoying thing that it sometimes does. This one on the right is also kind of a mock-up. So I might ask it to... Right, so I wasn't going to do amendments here on this training, but I'm just asking it to do a flat image with higher quality icons. Can you see these icons on the left are high quality, whereas the ones in the top right-hand corner are pretty, and in the top, in fact, all the top ones are pretty poor. Now, this is where I will sometimes erase them in Canva and just find a Canva graphic to go over it that is in keeping with the rest of the graphics. So the ones at the bottom are really nicely generated, and it seems to have got tired as it's come up here to the top. I often also will use the designs created by ChatGPT, but I'll then go and design it myself in Canva. So I'm using ChatGPT to come up with the layout and the types and the styles of the fonts that I want, because it's a better designer than I am. So I would probably just take a picture of it, a photo of it on my phone, and have it next to me whilst I then go and create the exact same thing in Canva. And this is the beauty of, if we're doing something like a non-fiction book that doesn't require like a photo or a color graphic image. So let's see what it's come up with down here. It's still doing mock-ups, so I'm not happy with that, but I do like the little icons that it's using. And I have got some really good ideas there if I was to then go into Canva and create that cover that is similar to these. I might do mine not as busy, but I think it's pretty fun. It says young adult to me. It doesn't say kid. It doesn't say teen. And I like the fact that, as Nora says, the yellow is going to pop. And I also like the fact that it looks nothing like our initial image that we used as a reference. It looks nothing like that, does it? So that's good. So now we're going to go over to Nano Banana. So if you've not used this is Google Gemini. You just Google Nano Banana and I'm sure it'll take you over there. And you'll go to this will be the screen that you go to when you log into Google Gemini, Google AI Studio. So that is at aistudio.google.com. And then we go try Nano Banana, and we're going to add our prompt and click run. And like I say, it's just been doing square images all today. We've asked it for 6:9. We've asked it for 300 DPI. Oh, it's doing a little bit of a better job. It's still a square, but it's put it inside the middle. And then we've actually got some young adults down the bottom. So that looks totally different, doesn't it? Which do you prefer? Let me know in the chat. So I'll just go back to these ones. Do you prefer these ones with the icons? Obviously, this isn't finished, but we could recreate something like this in this yellow with these sorts of fun icons. Or are you preferring, let's bring that up. Are you preferring that? We could change the yellow. And this is where we can ask it to change the background color. Is this looking a bit more young, like teenager-ish? Is this more fun? Which do you prefer? And then we can also go to just ChatGPT without going into DALL-E and paste the image. Please generate me the book cover design now. I'm just going to come back to the chat, see which one you prefer. Combine the two, prefer the icons. I like the idea of combining the two. Neve, prefer the first one, but less busy. Yes, it's a bit busy, isn't it? That first one. I agree. Quite like the cute little icons in that first one. And I like the color contrast of the blue, the turquoisey blue and the bright yellow. I think I preferred the color of that one. Okay, let's see what just ChatGPT has done for us. Oh, it's still not done anything. And this is another annoying thing. If you're generating 20 images, how long is it going to take? But you would be paying hundreds of dollars for a designer and you will get a lot faster at this. If you're creating things like, not diaries, journals, notebooks, You could do lots and lots of different designs all in one day, and then you can spend the next couple of weeks actually uploading your notebooks and journals. So you do all your designing just in one day. This is looking like a nice warm yellowy orange. I like this yellow so far. It's not like a garish lemon, is it? The white on yellow is looking wrong to start off with. I need a set of drums, do a drum roll. Ta-da! Oh, come on, chat. Oh, my internet is unstable. That's not good. Now we've got neon green. Okay, well, that's a very simple layout, isn't it? What do we think of that, anyone? So we've got that one, then we've got this one with all this going on, and then we've got Nano. I think Nano's one is the most usable instantly. So if we're doing you know, lead magnets or something, and we want something quick and fast that we can just use on our social media, I would say use Nano Banana. And if we are wanting to have a book that's going to make us lots of money, we're probably going to have to do more designing and more creating with ChatGPT and DALL-E here. There's also Midjourney. I'm not keen on it, but I have used it for some of my book covers. So what did you think of that last one? Has anyone said you like it, Nora? Wendy says IKEA basic. Yeah, Neve
You
says
know, I mean, if you've got kids that have learning disabilities, the more clear and clutter-free it is, the
yeah,
better it's going to be for them. I think the others tend to be a little busy.
yeah, and good. I would drop the neon green for sure. The neon green against the yellow is a definite no-no. They've all got typos for sure. What I like about this is the book covers I'm seeing generated. It's very clear in our group that they're not being generated by designers because we're not designers. But what we can clearly do here is use AI to do the designing. It's telling us what size our font needs to be and the placement and where it should be to be professional. And it's giving us some ideas of graphics and icons. And I often then take those ideas, I then go over to Canva and I'll use like the same typography and the same placements, but I'll go and find some other graphics that I prefer, some other icons. But it very much gives me the layout and the idea in terms of professional design, what I wouldn't have never come up with myself. So that's what we can definitely take from today's session. But obviously, you would regenerate, ask it to tweak, take out so many icons, take out the neon green. We would keep going back and asking it to redo it. Now, I don't like doing typography so much in AI because it comes up with errors and typos, and I like to be able to change my writing and my lettering. What we don't want is to use typography that is really boring. We want to try and use fonts and lettering that stands out. And ideally, you want to be going to Google Fonts for that and downloading some fonts that you like. You want to be researching your fonts. You can highlight your fonts and put them in Font Finder to find out what font are they using, because that looks really good. I want a font like that for my book. This is how you will make your book stand out and look professional, and people will subliminally want to buy your book because it stands out. Even so much as a font will make them think that and will make them more drawn to your book than the person who just used, I don't know, Montserrat in Canva, the one that we all use, you know, or Canva Sans is the one it always comes up with, isn't it? If you don't want to recreate in Canva, can you take those images and download them? Would that be the right format for KDP? I would always put it in Canva, always. This is what I've done with one of mine. In fact, I'll show you Naomi's because I just published hers. Is it that? I've got Jesus and Gandhi there. I'm showing you Naomi's because I didn't like, I'll have to go back here. Because it wasn't quite right, the image that, yeah, this one. The image that AI created, there was lots of errors with it. So I had to rejig it, right? So this is the one created by AI. In fact, I'll show you on a different page so you can actually see it. So I really liked the design, but it had lots and lots of errors. Like I didn't want all this writing on the right-hand side or the left-hand side. I didn't want this writing in the middle, but I really liked the cute little pumpkins and the contrast and the luminescence of that purple in the background. I thought it was really cool. And the luminescent purple against the orange, I thought will really stand out in the thumbnails. So what I did was I then asked AI to redo it without any typography, and this is what it came up with. Yeah, so that's a lot more usable for me. And then what I did was I stretched it up here and down here. And then I added some different things to the top and bottom. And then I played around with it and added my own fonts and other little pumpkins to create this. So I used the AI image as a base and then added my own fonts. I added some autumn leaves. I added some pumpkins. I added some cute little kawaii ghosts. I added some candles and some flames. All year round spooky fun. And hopefully you all like that book cover because I bloody love it. I think it's so cute and I love the colours of the purple and the orange contrasting. So that's how I sort of use AI to form a base for my book covers and then titivate and redesign afterwards. So I'm not publishing something with a lot of errors. Although having said that, like I say, with the Nano Banana one, you could definitely just publish that. You would download it, you would upload it into Canva, get rid of Anna Lee. You might actually want to check that Anna Lee has not published this book. I mean, this could happen with AI, but I don't think that does happen very often with AI. I've not heard of it happening to anyone, but you will want to check that that actually does not exist, this book. Upload it into Canva, put your name on it, add any changes, any tweaks you want to make, and then it's good to go. So that's a really quick one that you could easily use if we're trying to maybe publish a bit more quickly, a bit faster. This one of Naomi's, it probably took me a couple of hours to really tweak all that and decide on my fonts and things like that.
Abby,
Yeah.
can I just ask, I missed the step where you went from the Halloween book, the busy version to the basic version. How did you make that happen?
Yeah, so I went back to AI and I said, please, can you regenerate this image without the text?
All right, brilliant.
This is, you know, when we're talking about doing 20 or 30 reiterations, you can keep going back to AI and saying, can you take out this character? Can you take out the text? Always say the words, keep everything else the same. That seems to really help it to keep everything else the same. But yeah, and also a massive tip is to, if you want any tweaks by AI, ask it for one tweak at a time. Don't ask it to take this out, add this, add some things at the bottom, add this, change that, and it'll be like, oh, and it'll give you a totally different image. So just say, please take out the text, regenerate. Okay, please take out the pumpkin at the top, or the witch at the top's got a funny face, please take it out, or please fix the face of the witches. You know, so one tiny tweak at a time to tweak in AI, and then your final version usually will be done in Canva, just to add that crisp, clean text or your name at the bottom or whatever. You might want a little sticker saying, I don't know, bonus workbook included at black, two books in one, bonus workbook, because then people are going to choose your book because you've got the bonus workbook at the back of your book, you know, whatever. So having a sticker on your book is a good eye-catching thing. People want to click on it and think, what does that sticker say? Make sure you've got big writing so people can read it in the thumbnail. Eye-catching colours. Do you research in Google, you know, what are the most effective colours for blah 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 book for this audience? The 3-step process, just to go over that, the 3 steps is to design your prompt is step 1. So we do quite a lot of work on designing that prompt. The next step is design your cover in AI and do all those iterations. That's the second step. And the third step is polish in Canva. So that's why I call it a 3-step thing. You can see very clearly in 3 stages. You're working on the prompt. Now you're working on that cover image. Now you're working on the polishing off. And like I say, you can use any AI tools that you are comfortable with, because they're all very similar. You know, you can buy tools now that combine all the tools in one. It's just mind-boggling. So if you've got access to stuff like that, then give it a go. Different AI tools will behave differently on different days. Jodie says this is so helpful. Timing is perfect too. I'm working on a cover today for ABC Colouring Book with a Twist. Claudia says, thanks for the tips. Yeah, thanks, Jodie. So, gone a little bit over time, sorry. Would you believe that? I always think, oh yeah, that'll just be 45 minutes. And I genuinely think that. And every time I'm like, why did I just say that? Any questions before we go? I'm planning on doing more little sessions like this, just really hyper focusing on one key area, because things like this will make a massive difference to your sales. Massive. You know, if we can do this strategy, 3 steps, the people that are showing me all the book covers, if you did these 3 steps, it would be totally different and a total whole new level of design. Yeah.
May I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
Sorry. First of all, it was brilliant. Thanks, Abby. Really
Oh,
great.
thanks.
This is my first Zoom call, and yeah, really impressed.
I'm so
Just
happy that you're here.
me too. So I did I dove in with I think the 24-hour. I thought I would write my book in 24 hours. And then I went and I dipped into the 7-day. And now, because I'm looking at this Kip Scout, that was really helpful. And I need to go back over the training. Which is better, the 7-day or the 24-hour one? Which is the more detailed go-to reference for? Because I need to go back through it all.
Because it's so fast-paced and ever-changing. So I'm teaching book cover design now this way, and I wouldn't have taught it in the 24-hour or the 7-day. But I would, because do you know what I mean? So any older training, we're always updating it all the time. I would
So just show up live, basically, keep up with you.
I would do the 24-hour one. Try to keep up with me, because I will show everybody new ways, but quicker ways, easier ways, and better design. Do the 24-hour one. You know, I think your book, you know, you can easily put it together within a week. Sort of aim for a week to have it done. But really focus on that book cover design, your first few pages, having them really professionally laid out. So have a look at other books that you've got and have a look what is on their first page, what's on their second page, because I really think that gives it a professional feel. Amazon will show the first few pages of your book, you see, as a sample. So yeah, and really work on that title, keywords, profitability. Post in the group, I'll help you with that. And I'll have some more sessions like this where we can all ask questions and chat.
Brilliant. Thanks so much.
Emma says, can't get Kip Scout to work on incognito. So go into your settings in your Chrome extensions. and then go to Kip Scout in your Chrome extensions, Kip Scout, and then allow incognito. There's a little setting that you click across, and it says allow use in incognito window. So that's why it won't work. Yeah, and then it'll suddenly miraculously work in your incognito window. And it's actually not that important anymore to use that incognito window. You know, fair enough, it's got your browsing history, but when you're searching these books that you're creating, it's not really cluttered by other searches that you've made. Like if I'm doing a book all about, I don't know, how to draw everything, it's not going to be cluttered by me having searched for, you know, a cookery book for keto recipes or whatever, you know. It's not going to be affected by that. Okay, so Nora, I will send you the images that I managed to do with AI of Gandhi and Jesus. The main thing for you, Nora, is the word colouring book needs to be big. So when
Yeah.
people see it in that thumbnail, they see, oh, it's a colouring book, because that was the most difficult thing, was to get AI to make Jesus and Gandhi look like they were coloured in, you know. So colouring book, big letters.
Yeah.
If you're going to go down that route.
Yeah.
All
Okay. Look,
right, everybody.
I think I just will, you know, nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Time.
All right, lovely to see you all. Have an amazing day.
Thank
I'll
you.
see you on another session. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.